Alright guys, so I'm going to review stoichiometry. And we broke it down on Friday, exactly what that word meant. I'm going to go over it, kind of review, and we're going to make sure, if anything, so what this involves is we reviewed our mole to gram, the gram conversions. You will take some notes with this. I'm just putting up for review real quick so you don't have to have them. We reviewed balancing equations. Okay, so if we go over anything by the end of today, you should have mole to gram conversions down, balancing equations down. And then by the end of today, you need to have, it would be awesome if you had mole ratio or mole bridge conversions. Okay, does anybody remember on Friday, someone might have it in their notes, I said something about the mole bridge and where you find it. You remember? Yes, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to write it on the board, and it would help you, again, emphasize that you have this in your notes. The mole ratio, or the mole bridge, we're going to call it, it's kind of the same thing. Mole bridge is found from the balanced equation. Keyword balanced as well. So if your equation ain't balanced, you ain't going to find a mole bridge. Balanced equation. And just to help beat this into your heads, I want you to find a partner. If you're at a table of three, just say it to each other. I want you guys to each repeat this. So the mole bridge is found from the balanced equation. It has to come out of your mouths. We're not going to continue. So you guys are one group. I just want you to say it to each other. I just want you to say it to each other. So if it comes
I said it twice.
Did you?
I said it to them and then I said it to them.
Finn, did she say it?
He's not listening.
What did she say?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. And you have to say it back to her. Just so you remember. If you say it, you're gonna be surprised with how much better you remember it. Just whisper it in her ear, Finn. Just say it, or you can say it to yourself. The mole bridge is found from, where's the mole bridge found? Come on, Finn.
From the balance.
The F in balance equation, exactly. Less curse word. Alright, so mole bridge is found from balance equation, guys. I'm gonna throw up an equation that doesn't have to do with chemistry, exactly. And you're going to see how this stoichiometry is used in everyday life. It's used when you go make a lunch sometimes. You have so I'm going to work with a grilled cheese sandwich.
Yes.
You like them?
Yes.
I've never seen you more excited in this class than hearing grilled cheese. Okay, so if you have a grilled cheese sandwich, what is one ingredient that makes up the grilled cheese? Richard, can you throw it at me? Okay, so you got cheese.
Butter though. Butter is just
We might have to leave butter out of this. Right. So this is, I'm going to put cheese just so you know it's cheese. Okay, you get one slice of cheese. Okay? What else? Whatever that looks like. What else do you have in your grilled cheese?
bread.
Okay, we'll go with bread. And that's all we're going to have. We're going to leave butter out of this. It's going to be not as tasty.
Your cheese looks like butter. You should have just done a square.
Oh, you're right. For
Some
cheese?
holes in it.
Okay, so this is our bread. Okay, but that's one slice. Okay? And to make, it's a pretty thick slice of bread.
That cheese is circle. What kind of cheese is that?
It looks like the freaking butter. That's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
the cheese is melting because it's a grilled cheese. I'm gonna add
Cheese is
power into
little.
it. It looks super appetizing, doesn't it? Okay, that's a grilled cheese sandwich.
That looks gross. That looks like grease.
Oh, I thought it was like a burger.
Moving on, it's a delicious grilled cheese. Okay, but
Sure.
we have more than one slice of bread. This is only one slice of bread. So is this a balanced equation technically? Because your product has two slices. This is only one slice, so you know it's not balanced. But same as a chemical equation, what would I do? My main name? Michelle? That's right. What would I do to balance this equation? I need just one coefficient, one answer. Because this is two slices of bread, and I only show one up here. Exactly. Michelle is exactly right. She said just put a 2 in front of the bread. So if I do that, that means I have 2 slices of bread, I have 1 piece of cheese, I make my grilled cheese sandwich. Balanced, minus the butter. We're not going to use butter this time, but we have a balanced equation. Okay, and all stoichiometry is talking about, if you remember, we talked about the definition of it, and it said it's the relationship between the products and the reactants, or some form of the relationship by weight. If I say I have, and these are the same, you'll see these are the same exact questions we're asking. I have 6 slices of bread. And I'm sure you can do this in your head if you just visualize on a plate that you're making your grilled cheese. I have 6 slices of bread. How many grilled cheese can I make? Exactly, you just pumped that out in your head, right? Why? I mean, you did that in your head, and I think it's because it's less abstract, and you can see that, oh, I have 6 slices of bread. I'm going to fold each slice over on each other, and I'm going to make 3 sandwiches, right? But somehow, when we get to a chemical equation, you're like, oh, crap, I don't know. I've never held H2 in my hand, so I don't know. But it's the same exact ratio you're working with. Okay, so I have 6 slices of bread. How many grilled cheese sandwiches do I make, just to finish it? Okay, and you get 3, but to set it up, you use a conversion factor, and you start with whatever is given to you. What is given to you here? You have your 6 slices of bread, right? So I have 6, and you want to put your units, and in this case, it's going to just be slices, okay? And then we have our conversion factor. This is our mole ratio. Right? And what unit am I trying to cancel out? I start with bread, and I want to end up with grilled cheese sandwiches. So I guess I'll put sandwiches there. Because that's what I'm ending with, right? Okay, and I'm trying to cancel out my slices. Because I start with slices, I'm trying to cancel out slices. Okay, and I'm trying to get to sandwiches. So I'm just going to put sand for short. And this is my ratio. So for every 2 slices, I get how many sandwiches? Just 1 sandwich. So you see how I set up that mole ratio? I put the slices on the bottom because I'm trying to cancel them out because that's the number I'm given. Right? And then I put 1 sandwich up top because that's, if nothing is next to the item or it's left blank, that just means it's 1. Right? Okay, so 6 times 1/2 equals, and you guys were right, you got 3 sandwiches. Okay, so now I'm going to transition this over into an actual chemical equation. We're going to see if you can translate the information. Not a bad grilled cheese. That's green bread. Or green cheese.
It looks a little too greasy.
It's like blue cheese.
That sounds too small.
It might be a little greasy.
You're ruining grilled cheese for me.
Okay, so I'm going to see if anyone, this is kind of off topic, but does anyone know if a farmer is farming a field? Farmers use chemistry, believe it or not. So if you think, oh, I don't need to know chemistry, I'm just going to do some simple like farming. Farmers need to know chemistry because they make fertilizer. And what is difficult, does anybody know what is difficult to get back into the soil after you've harvested a field? Heard something. Yeah, what type of nutrient specifically? In the soil, what type of nutrient? It's going to be an element. They are in the soil. They are in the rocks. They're in the soil. But what farmers have a lot of trouble with is after they farm, say, a field of corn, their soil doesn't have a lot of nitrogen in it. Because nitrogen will float around the air like N2, right? It looks like this if you do the dot structure. And this bond is so strong. Remember, he did it with the rulers. It's a 3-ruler bond. It's really hard to break. So things in the soil or other molecules can't break this apart. So you go through a process called the Hobler process. That's what it's called. Some dude named Hobler probably invented it. But the farmers do this. They go through the Hobler process where they combine nitrogen, atmospheric nitrogen, which is N2, and atmospheric hydrogen, and they make ammonium, which is NH3, which they can actually put in fertilizer and soil. It might be part of the reason why fertilizer smells weird too. Is this balanced? Ruben, what do I do to balance it? First step. He's like, oh, you were looking up here, but I think you were somewhere else completely. Are you back? Okay. What's the first step we do? For balancing equation, I'm going to help you out, but you got to give me an answer. Give me something. So I'm counting up my elements on both sides, right? I have 2 nitrogens, I have 2 hydrogens, I have 1 nitrogen on this side, and I have 3 hydrogens. So what's my first step, Ruben?
Add a 1.
Add 1 to this side? To this guy? Okay, so if I put a 2 right here, and then that changes my numbers, right?
Yeah.
So I got 2 nitrogens, and 2 times 3,
6.
what do we got? 6 hydrogens. Okay, now next step, JC. Where do I go from here? I got 2 nitrogens on both sides.
Put 3 before H.
Yes! Exactly right. And you have fully balanced the equation, right? So I just change that to 6. So I got 2 nitrogens, 6 hydrogens. Okay, stoichiometry, if you can get to this point, you're already about halfway done with the problem. That's a big step. You need a balanced equation. So now that we have a balanced equation, we can find our mole bridge. Before, we could not find this mole bridge. And the mole bridge is simply showing the ratio, like 2 slices of bread to every sandwich. There's 3 H2 molecules to every 2 ammonia molecules. 3 to every 2, right? There's 1 N2 molecule to every 2 ammonia molecules. Just like our slices of bread analogy, that's the mole ratio. Okay, so after we get this, we're going to work through this one together, and then we're going to have an exit slip asking you 2 quick things. So my question is, and I want you to work through this, and then we'll bring it back up to the board.